to support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon, link in the description. Percy has two models released in 00 scale, Hornby and Bachmann. The Hornby Percy was actually the first model locomotive I ever owned, a gift for my birthday or Christmas many years ago. I still have him to this day and was using him in videos not that long ago. He doesn't run like he used to, probably tired out from all those races back in the day. A few years ago, I acquired the Bachmann Percy. He's always been a bit temperamental, but when he does run, he runs very smoothly. Recently, I decided it was time to update my models with 3D printed shells. The Percy shell was designed by Noah, the LBSC Thomas, and the faces were created by Andrew, the chairlord. The 3D printing went through the usual process. Primed, sanded, filled, primed, sanded, filled. You know the drill. For Oliver and Duck, I used Humbrol Lime Green, which is quite a light shade. Since I opted for a darker shade on Thomas, I decided to go with a darker green for Percy as well. I used Plastico Garden Green. The wheels were masked and painted, as was the shell. The running board was primed and painted red. Percy was starting to take shape. Next, I worked on the chassis. I needed to modify it quite heavily to fit the 3D printed shell. The original Bachmann Percy chassis is quite chunky and needed to be cut down. The pickups also needed to be moved from the running board to the chassis block. I'd actually made similar modifications when working on my not so amazing lady model years ago, so I was ready to give it another shot. It looks a bit messy, but I wanted to retain as much of the original plastic as possible to keep the chassis block secure. I painted the bunker black and the dome gold. For the lining and the number 6 on his side, I used vinyl. The smoke box was split in half to make way for the smoke unit, then glued back together and painted black. I added buffers by James Tranos, screw links by Hornby, and lamp irons, which are pins, to the running board. After rewiring Percy with his DCC decoder, I ran a quick test in my messy work area and was pleased to see that he was working great. I decided to use the original Bachmann Percy cab roof to help conceal the internal wiring. Finally, the buffers were painted and I lightly weathered him with black Humbrol weathering powder. He was ready for filming.